everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So I think this is probably the first time I've ever made a video like this, and it's a 24 hours later video. So normally I'll do like maybe a 72-hour first impressions or like a week, but I thought I'd go ahead and do a 24-hour impressions video for my first day with the Pixel 4. So I got the white one, the clearly white edition, also called the Panda. It's got the little orange button, all that fancy good stuff, and I have it right here. If you don't recognize what's on here, it's a Ringkey Fusion X case. Big fan of them. This is not a jab for them. It's just I'm not carrying this thing around without a case on it. But I'll go ahead and pop it out of here for just a second for posterity's sake, and you can get a good look at it. So here we go. Got the white on the back, black on the sides with the orange button. The squeeze feature is actually pretty sensitive when it's not in the case. But overall, I had some initial thoughts about it whenever I went and saw it in the store, but it was connected to one of those security kiosk things, so I didn't get a great feel for it. I still don't like the way the camera looks. I think it looks kind of cheap, and especially whenever you look at it compared to the iPhone 11 Pro. I really kind of like what they did over here better, but overall, it's got a nice form factor to it. It does have a very big forehead up there. You can see that. Very big bezel up there, which has the sensor and all that stuff with the radar and all that stuff. So, curiously enough, I actually really do like the facial recognition stuff that they have on here. It works really well. You go and it senses when you're going to go get ready to look at it and all that good stuff. They call it Soli or something weird like that. But either way, it works really well. It works from a lot of different angles. And you can't see that here, but you know, it's very fast and it's very accurate. So I would say that it's as fast, if not slightly faster in most cases, than Face ID. Now, Face ID has gotten a lot better with iOS 13 and the new all that good stuff with the iPhone 11 Pro series. It is faster. So the facial recognition is cool. The battery life sucks. And I guess kind of. It's better than the iPhone 11, not that. It's better than the iPhone 10s. It's not nearly as good as the iPhone 11. So I carried both of these with me today. The Pixel got right at like 4 hours of battery life, and then it bit the dust. It had 3% left. I went out, I took a bunch of pictures today. I'm going to have some of those in the video so you can see them. I took a screenshot. I know I posted it on Twitter's. Oh, there we go. Albums, screenshot. There we go. So it got 4 hours and 8 minutes of battery life, and it had 3% left. Now, I'm going to tell you what power settings I was using. I had it set on, I think, 82% brightness all day. And I went into the developer settings, which I enabled, and I turned on 90 hertz forced mode all the time. So it was using the 90 hertz refresh rate all the time. Brightness was in the low 80%, and I turned off the adaptive brightness stuff, which I'm just not a fan of. And I also turned off, I can't remember what it is, but it's the Google version of the True Tone display where it tries to match the lighting with the surroundings and stuff. See what it's called, ambient EQ. So I turned that off. I just like it to look as nice and clean and white as possible. I don't like all the different variations on the color. It kind of makes it look more yellowish, I guess. I don't really like that. So turned all that stuff off. I got 4 hours and 8 minutes of battery life, which I think is okay. It's better, I believe, than the Pixel 3 XL when I first used it. I was very unimpressed with it. This is also the first day. I would expect the battery to kind of settle in a little bit more, some of the adaptive battery stuff to learn my routines and what it can and can't use all the power for, but I do like it. I'm not going to say that this is a bad phone. So if you came here to hear me say this phone is terrible, I'm not going to say that. It is different, though. Android 10 is nice. The swipe gestures, I'm getting used to those. I did have a Pixel 3a XL, which I gave to my son, and I did enter into the beta for Android 10 when it first came out, and I didn't really like the swipe gestures at first. It didn't really feel intuitive, but after going back, and I've been using iPhone for a while now, like the last probably 6 or 7 months, the swipe gestures have gotten to be pretty much a mainstay in my interaction with my phone. So using Android 10 this time, the fully implemented developed version, it feels pretty natural. The only thing I don't like is that diagonal swipe from the corner to go back once you're inside a menu instead of just going back. I accidentally leave things a lot of times. So that's going to take some getting used to. Not really a fan of that. it does work better on iOS on the Apple devices. Now, so a couple things I wanted to hit on. The screen, it looks good. I really like the screen. The refresh rate is nice. I don't really notice it as much as I would think that I would. I did have a OnePlus 7 Pro when they first came out, and I really was digging the 90 hertz. And on here, it seems less subtle. I'm going to play around with it some more and try and turn it on and turn it off and see what all it looks like. But overall, the interface is nice. Everything's smooth. I played quite a bit of Mario Kart. So there's that. The camera, the daylight camera is nice. I really was expecting a little bit more, just because I've been using the iPhone 11 Pro, so I was expecting some things to maybe pop out and stand out more. But really, the iPhone 11 Pro and the Pixel 4 about neck and neck when it comes to picture quality. I took a lot of samples today. I went out and walked around downtown Houston on my lunch break and took a bunch of pictures of stuff. You'll see those at the end of the video, so stay tuned for those. But it wasn't as impressive as I thought it was going to be. It does look good. I mean, it looks really, really good. I got a lot of compliments on some of the photos that I took. Some of them, they turned out fantastic. I'm not going to say there's inconsistencies. I just expected it to be better. I do wish that it had a wide angle camera, which that's been talked about to death. So I'm not really going to go into that, but it would be nice. And then I did take a night mode shot. A little bit more noisy, not as sharp as I would have expected. Some of the stuff was kind of blown out looking. I think the problem is, and I think most people hit the nail on the head, is it tries to make things at night look like it's daytime versus just trying to make it where you can see stuff better at night. So it overemphasizes the light on some things, and it really didn't work so well with the ambient light source that was around where I took it. I did a tweet, actually a screenshot, and put the tweet up there too, so you can see that. But pretty much everybody was saying they thought that the side-by-side comparison using the iPhone 11 Pro looked better than the Pixel 4. I happen to agree, with the exception that the iPhone still makes things look yellow, and I really don't like that. Even though in some cases it's making it look as more natural, make it look more natural versus artificial, and make it look more aesthetically pleasing. I still think that the iPhone still tends to make things more warm and more yellow, and I don't really like that. I like the cooler colors and the cooler saturation. So battery life, not as impressive as I would hope, but with a 2800 milliamp battery, it's pretty much kind of what I expected, but I will say it performed better than I expected it to. So I kind of expected only about 3 to 3.5 hours of screen on time. I was able to get 4. So 3.5 stars there instead of 3 or 2.5. It's nowhere near as good as the iPhone 11 Pro battery. So the iPhone 11 Pro battery, at the exact same time, I got 4 hours and 8 minutes of screen on time. I still had 44% battery left. So the iPhone 11 Pro definitely wins in that category. I know they're not directly competing with each other in that regard. Otherwise, I think Google would have tried to put a bigger battery in here. So the speakers are nice, the volume nice, the call quality is fantastic. I really love the call quality. Walked around downtown Houston. It was windy. There was cars everywhere, people, all that good stuff. Talked to my wife on the phone for a little while I was walking at work. Great. Camera, happy with the camera. Not as happy with night mode as I would like. And I think other than that, there's not a whole lot of fundamental stuff on here. I really, of course, love that Gboard is built into it. The keyboard is top-notch. The operating system is top-notch. It's the best experience you're going to get when it comes to Google because, of course, Android is Google. It's the best. It's bare bones, and it's zippy. It is very zippy. It's very fast. And that's one thing that you notice if you come over from like a Samsung phone or an LG phone. They have a lot of animations. They have a lot of page flipping and all the other stuff going on. A native Android experience with the Snapdragon 855, the 6 gigabytes of RAM, I think is top notch. I do wish it had 8 gigabytes of RAM. I really feel like they kind of short sold us on that again. I thought the Pixel 3 generation should have had 6. Thought this one should have had 8, but definitely 6 is better than 4. And you may not even run into issues with that. And there's no skinning and all the other stuff that's on here that chews up and eats up the memory. And plus, they have their active memory management. So hopefully it's better than it was with the Pixel 3 series, which I wasn't crazy about. Hopefully we don't have any of the display issues. And I haven't even messed with the hand gesture stuff yet. So I'm going to get into that more. I'm kind of going to do, I guess, a week follow-up on this too. But I want to do a 24-hour first impressions. I like it so far. It's not the bee's knees. There are the shortfalls with the battery life, and I don't really think the night mode was impressive as I thought it was going to be. The regular camera for day mode, really, it's apples and oranges, whether you like, pun intended, or pun not intended, really, the Apple phone on the iPhone versus this. Wish it had a wide lens, but we don't have that. But overall, at $7.99, I got mine off of Amazon. It had a $100 gift card, so effectively $6.99. I think it's fine. And if you want a Pixel, it's a good phone. Now the Pixel 3 4 XL has the larger battery in it, which is going to serve you a lot better. Of course, it's got a 6.3-inch screen versus the 5.7 on here, but I'm tired of gigantic phones, so I'm living the 5.7, 5.8-inch world now, and I'm perfectly happy with it at the time. So that's all I've got on my 24-hour first impressions of the Pixel. It died on me at about 3 o'clock this afternoon. I had to charge it. It's on the second charge now. It did get really hot. When I was recording some video, I did go to my son's orchestra recital earlier. I recorded about 15 minutes of video, and this sucker was pretty warm. It was much warmer than I would expect it to be for a Google phone. So I guess when you're video recording, I don't know if that's something they can fix with software. It's just something you have to live with. But even with the case on it, it was pretty hot. So that was just another thing that I noticed. But overall, hasn't been any quirks or anything I really had to worry about it. This whole matte finish thing is, I mean, kind of cool, I guess. It feels better and more prominent on the sides and on the back. I'm not really going to say it gives it a whole lot of extra grip. Maybe it does, but the form factor is ideal for grip. And I keep it in a case. So the other thing here, I did get a glass screen protector, which I'm going to install. If I don't screw it up, I'm going to make a video. I got a Omoton 4-pack for like $10 or $8.99 on Amazon. Historically, they've worked well for my phones, and I've enjoyed using them, so I'm hoping it's going to be good. It's not a plug for them either. If you see a video from me, that means that it worked. If you don't see a video, it means I screwed it up, and I don't want to put it up for y'all to watch because those usually get chewed up pretty bad in the comments section. But either way, I definitely recommend a screen protector. It's really nice not using a screen protector, but I worry so much about micro abrasions and all that stuff that I have to put one on there. If this doesn't work, I'm going to go straight to the Skinomi, and I'll go that route. But that's all I got on my first impressions, 24 hours with the Pixel. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I'd love to have some dialogue with you. If you want, hop over onto the Twitter. You can follow me at AdamJMatlock. Then that's my Twitter handle. I love to talk and chat and go back and forth with stuff. You can see some of the pictures I posted. I'll have some here in the video. So I'm going to stop talking now. You can see the pictures. They'll be here. Ta-da. And then I'll finish it up on the end of that. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Follow this. Watch the pictures. You can see the quality on those, and we'll pick up later. All right, so you can see here, this is the only night mode picture that I took, but I mean, it looks fine. The only issue is it does look, a little washed out some. I think there's a little bit too much light exposure, but I mean, the details are fine, and I mean, it looks good for a night shot picture. And here's the same picture during the daytime. You can see it does look substantially more sharp, less noise, much more clear. And here's another building that I took. I really like this one. I thought that with all the light and all the reflections off the glass, it turned out really well. And here's another one. I thought this one had a nice contrast with the concrete and a lot of the dividers between the windows without being so much glass. And then here's a cool sidewalk that I found, and it's got great detail. You can see all the etched lines all around the individual bricks. And then here's the street view where you can see those nice illuminated lamps that look kind of like flame lamps over on the side of the building. So I thought that was cool. And here's a nice intersection picture where it would have been really nice to have a wide angle lens, but I think that it handled it pretty well. Lots of detail. Here's another one of the buildings, and this is all in downtown Houston, just out walking around. But I mean, the quality of the pictures are really good. Here's another one of an intersection I thought turned out pretty good. I really like that building, especially the little wedges cut out there. Here's somebody's little scooter. It was parked on the side. I figured I'd go ahead and take a picture of that on the bricks. Here's a nice patriotic American flag photo. You can see it's got a great sharp contrast there. There's very, very little noise, if at all, and especially with the background. And then I love this one. I've taken this picture before, and it's a favorite of mine. So you can see it does take really good pictures. So wrapping this up, there's this picture and one more left. Hopefully you enjoyed this and get a good feel for what the camera is capable on the Pixel 4. So that's all I got, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all next time.